where we become racist or too far right, and we start to forget we are all on this planet together.
So let's take you straight to the city of Jos. Cultural festivals are usually organized to celebrate the totality of a people's values, traditions, and lifestyles. The Berum people of Plateau State are no different as they rolled out their drums at the 2019 Berum Day. As the saying goes, a taste of the pudding is in the eating. So let us relax as Ekemereng Kangneng Ladoja brings us some of the exciting moments of the day.
The Berum is said to be a philosophy driven by an ideology of the celebration of the life of the Berum people as great warriors. In celebrating this life, the warriors of the land adorned in their attires of animal skin, raffia hats and tea, a cultural mineral which reminds them of the blood in their veins and the life they live as they lead the paramount ruler of the people, the Bongom's convoy, to the venue for the festival. A very interesting sight to behold, the display of warriors on horses and the dancers entertaining the residents who trooped out on the streets to feed their eyes with the thrills. The Rangpam Township Stadium was filled with lots of Berum sons and daughters who came to pay homage to their cultural leader. There were also friends of the Berum people from different tribes from within and outside the state who came to show respect. But the one that stood out was that of the Tarok Nation, as the Minister of Youth and Sports led the delegation, adorned in full Tarok attire.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for him.
The festival brought with it many thrilling facts about the Berum people, while some felt it was best to remind people of the need to unite and continue to live in peace.
We have lived in peace with our neighbors all these years. And we intend to continue to live in peace with our neighbors and with whoever has decided to make Plateau State his home. They are welcome as long as they follow due process.
Is confronting this nation, which is violent, must be stopped at all costs. But we cannot afford to lose the fight against violence and still keep our civilization. It has never happened.
Nationalities participate to come and showcase what they are made of. It is therefore on this note that every son and daughter of Plateau enjoys participating in the Berum festivity.
We want to thank the Almighty God because the Berums are ever more united because of the Berum that has kept us together as a people.
Of recent archaeological discovery in Niger Republic indicated that Berum pottery were found in Niger, which is evident that in migration, Berum would have settled there. And if research is further conducted, you may discover that there are ethnic nationalities in this area we are talking that may share cultural similarities with the Berum. That is how powerful it is.
With the dynamism in the world, you have cultural mix here and there, but anyone who forgets history, I don't think the person desires to leave, because you can't go and borrow another person's culture and think that you're going to survive with it.
Better improvement than what they did last year. And one thing again that is commendable, I don't know how they did it, whether they employed the rainmakers to drive the rains. Because when we came in here, the clouds were heavy and we are afraid it may drop down, but it seems as the occasion progressed, the skies, the clouds are clearing.
It's one of the major events on the plateau, one of the major festivals that needs to be showcased outside Plateau. It displays the rich cultural heritage of the people of Plateau. And also this event shows that peace has actually returned to the land of Plateau.
The organizers decided that this year they would celebrate the Berum prowess in science and technology, and so there was a display of some of its technological achievements.
To bring a more serious consciousness of this endowment of God to us as a nation.
The winners of the Namadiara competition and the 2019 Zere Berum were crowned, but the star of the 2019 Zembirom was young Miss Weng Chung, who sang the national anthem in Berum and recited a poem in Berum asking the Berum people to unite.
What an explosive expression of humanity. Music is healing and something we are all touched by, no matter what culture we are from. Everyone loves music. And staying with celebrations will take you to Benue State Capital, where officers and men of the Nigerian Army took time out to unwind from their regimented life. The 72 Special Force Battalion Joe Akahan Cantonment Makudi held its annual West African Social Activities, Wasa, where the officers and men were treated to the best of Nigeria's rich cultural heritage. Bem Hanya tells us more.
Officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army, whose constitutional mandate is the protection of the territorial integrity of the country, along with sister forces, have recorded success in the war against insurgency in the northeast and other assignments. Away from the battlefield, officers and soldiers of the 72 Special Forces Battalion Makudi, along with their family members and invited guests, converged on the parade ground of the Army Formation to celebrate the West African Social Activity, Wasa 2018.
The Nigerian Army Social Activity is carried out annually to mark the end of each year's activities. It is an important aspect of regimentation which reminds us of our core values. The event provides a forum for personnel and their families to interact with their commanders and to display our rich cultural heritage.
The popular Benue State Award-winning performing troupe thrilled the guests with their performance. Other performances that lit up the day include the Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, Calabar, and Magajia women display.
Resilience.
There was enough to eat and drink. Then comes the tug-of-war game, which is popular among the armed forces and is usually a test of strength. Deserving officers and soldiers who have distinguished themselves during the year under review, as well as companies that participated in the food competition, were given prizes. Governor Samuel Otom, who was represented, praised the sacrifices of the armed forces, which has kept the country safe in the face of contemporary challenges.
Permit me at this juncture to commend the efforts and sacrifices of the gallant officers and men of this battalion who are currently engaged in the counter-insurgency operation in the Northeast and of course here in Benue State, for their bravery, doggedness and loyalty.
After the merriment, the 72 Special Forces Battalion expects better years ahead in service to their fatherlands.
Beautiful and intricate moves there by the Benue dance troupe. Oftentimes, I just can't imagine not being a thief babe, especially when I think of our delicacy. You know, the pounded yam and poacher soup. I love food. Well, let's move on to this Afrobeat icon. Though the duration of his stardom is yet to outlive that of his fathers, Femi Kuti is one of the most influential Nigerian musicians, acclaimed to have a net worth of about $1.5 million. Recently, he was at the 12th edition of the Festival of Urban Music and Naumabo that holds annually in Côte d'Ivoire. Born in London and raised in Lagos, Nigeria, Femi Kuti is the eldest son of historical king of Afrobeat, Fela Kuti, who was popularly known for his Afrobeat and jazz music style. Femi inherited his father's musical talents and has continued in his father's global Afrobeat legacy, however, creating his own style. His love and interest for music started at a very young age. He started to develop strong interest in the saxophone, although not properly trained as a musician. He thought himself everything but just watching and listening to his father and other great music artists.
I have learned how to play the trumpet, a bit of the piano and the saxophone, a bit of singing and a bit of dancing. I specialize in this. This is how I learned how to be a musician. But I know the seriousness of being a musician. A musician must be seen as, you see, a medical practitioner, like a lawyer or a doctor or an engineer. So it's a big profession that we have not fully grasped and understood the complications and giving the young people enough resources to develop and follow this trend to challenge America, for instance.
Femi believes that every artist is cut out to do what they do best. Irrespective of the fact that he might be a political activist, he finds life exciting with other characters.
I'm not a critic of music, and I will never tell young people, even if I don't think they're doing well, I will never be one to say so. What I see is that there's a vibrant young generation that wants to do positive things with their life. The only objection I have is I would love us to do it properly. I never criticize anybody, any artist not doing what my father or I are, what we are doing. I think everybody is cut out to do whatever they want to do. And I want to give you an example. Probably if all of us were very political, probably there will be no time for any joy at all in this life, because the topics we talk about are very grave, they're very serious. So I want to use Stevie Wonder as an example. You remember this song, I Just Called to Say I Love You? Even I've used it to talk to some of my girlfriends before. As political as I am, I still have time to make love. I still have time to go for dinner. I still have time for my children. So my last album was called One People, One World. This is because I've thought very seriously about where we're at. As much as I am totally in favor for Africa's unity and Africa's total independence. When we do arrive there, I don't want Africa to be like the West, where we become racist or too far right, and we start to forget we are all on this planet together. And I think what the Creator wants is for us to find harmony amongst ourselves as human beings and make this place a very beautiful place.